right back at it, baby. Gray Rizzy, we out here. Shade 45 is another grind setters. Look, I want to take you out to Philly real quick. Let me just say this. I want to say this to everybody that's listening. Oh, however many million of motherfuckers that's up here on Eminem Shade 45. Have you ever seen somebody everywhere and not know exactly what the fuck they do? This is who I'm about to talk to, man. Well respected, really connected. Mike Knox is in the motherfucking building.
What's up, baby?
How's everything, man? Welcome
Finally
to the crib. Welcome to PVA.
It's warm. It's a warm feeling here.
Yeah. We try to make it, welcome for the right people.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You got to keep that fake ass energy
That's
out
a
there
fact.
sometime, man.
That's a fact.
And let me also say this real quick. Sometimes our circles are smaller than what it appears. My first time meeting you, right?
Okay.
But my brothers called me before I even had the chance to meet you. I didn't even know they was on the line until you mentioned something.
Yeah,
I listened to the message. Yeah. It just makes it that much better, man. Shout out to our brothers Rap and Q out there. 920, what's up? Yeah. But for you, man, 1122 Music Group.
1722.
1722, excuse me. 1722 Music Group. Independent.
Yeah, it's my label.
Got a situation that's going on right now. We got some music.
Yep.
Now, I want to be clear about it. It's Friday. It's the 8th.
It's Friday, it's the 8th.
Which means the music is out there. We about to run the city.
Oh, man, it's over. The music is out. The video is out. It's up.
So first of all, like I said, I never knew exactly what you did. I always knew there's certain times you walk into a place, you'd be like, yo, this is the right person, the right time. I know he does something. There's a reason why he's in this position.
Right.
But I guess you could just say boss. We just put that there. Yeah, entrepreneur.
I think I own that. Man.
Yeah?
I think I kind of own that space.
How did you even get in this space right here? Because entertainment has a lot of different things that comes with it.
Right. I think just being in the music industry so long, coming from Philly and being, in the elite masses of the state properties, the major figures, and, all them different guys that was doing anything. I was always one of the ones outside of them that kept it going. You know what I'm saying? That was strong in the city. So, I just kept doing my thing, and I eventually got connected to G on the Records through Steve Brody and Tony Ayo, and we had a great relationship. And then, me and 50 Cent got a real great bond. You know what I'm saying? We all like brothers now, and as things progressed, as time went on, I ended up getting indicted and going to the feds.
Copy.
You know what I'm saying? For some past stuff that was I guess they do it now. They say it's hip to do it now, but it wasn't cool back then, which was like fraud shit going on or whatever. So I had to go away and do the time, but when they actually came, I was actually off of it. But, once you tied into a conspiracy, there's nothing you could do about it.
The government can go ahead and pull up at any time.
They're going to come come on, let's go. So I had to go sit down for about, I would say, almost 7 years, just about 7 years, and came back home and got right to it.
I think your position right now speaks to what you built before you had to go in.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we hear people are struggling when they come out. They don't know what to do. It seems like you hit the ground running.
Yeah, because my whole thing was I wasn't going to do music, but it was when I was inside, I was, when you go to jail, a lot of people that go to jail, a lot of artists, I don't know what their mindset's being, but for me, music is not one of them because I'm from the streets first. So, I got to make sure my back is covered. Stand-up guy, but I got to make sure my back is covered because when you have a name, people always want to be the one to try to come for you. So sometimes you got to step outside your room and show them what time it is. So for me, music wasn't there. I wasn't watching videos. I wasn't listening to music. I wasn't doing that. I was just done with it. I didn't want to see a magazine with a G on it or nothing, nobody on it. But I think God has his ways of showing you this is what you need to be doing. So it was I would go places in the jail and there would be somebody I don't know. They'd be like, yo, your voice is crazy. You need to do music. I might have a doctor's appointment. Somebody like, you need to do music. Or it was just crazy to the point I'm like, you know what? Let me just see. And I started playing with it a little bit because I'm like, yo, I'm rusty because I was gone for so long. But, when I got to certain jails, I had an iPhone. So I was seeing everything. So, I was updating my memory and getting myself together. And I'm like, you know what? Cool. And the whole time I was talking to Tony Ayo and 50 and everybody from Junior Records the entire time I was down. So it was like, yo, you coming home, we got to bring you home right. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do it or you're not going to do it, we love you, we going to bring you home right. So it was when I stepped out the building, it was yeah, I think I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you definitely got one of those voices, man.
Yeah.
I mean, people can hear it right now, wherever you're listening, whether it be here on the East Coast, New York City, Philly, West Coast, LA, San Diego, San Francisco, all the middle states. You know what you gonna do? You gonna hear this music.
Yeah, you hear this music.
Man, we gonna get to this Run the City joint real quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now. He asked me, yo, what are you thinking about the record? It's one of those records you gotta have a hell of a good time in the parties, at the barbecues and all that. You drink a little bit too much, you gonna start, I'm telling you, you gonna start thinking you got the fucking S on your chest. You're not Mike Knox. It's his voice. Just enjoy the music. Have a good time with it, man. Let's get to it. We out here. Shade 45, Grind Setters.
Better know it.
It's the Grind Setters, baby. Gray Rizzy, we out here right now. Mike Knox is in the building, 1722. What's up? Now, you mentioned some names, man. I know we have the EP that's arriving. You know, we have the single right now along with the video that's out there, so go check that out on YouTube. You already kind of touched on how you connected with 50. Shout out to Yayo, too. That's my guy.
No.
But we're also talking about Wonder Music. Jerry Wonder, man. We're talking about, Fugees. Like, that's...
Amazing.
Triple. What did Hope used to say, Smith? 00000 old up. Like, Jerry been in the game for a minute. How did you connect with him?
It's crazy because it's an R&B artist by the name of Jordan Banks.
From Philly.
Yeah.
Now, Jordan Banks used to, if the people that don't know, Jordan usdan used to fuck with Meek real heavy.
Well, I got Jordan Banks signed to Dream Chasers.
Look at that. I
did
didn't even know it was
left.
fucking you.
Yeah, I did that before I left. What happened was...
Jordan been on this show before. Look at that.
It's crazy.
Look at God, Smith. Look at God. All right, go ahead. Talk to me about it.
So what happened was I had met Jordan through Dre Vidal and Mark and Sherm in Philly. And he was a writer. And I'm like, yo, you crazy. Like, you nice. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to take you to 50. And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm going to take you to 5. And I took him there. And just so happened 5 was working on a mixtape at the time, and he was playing something for me. And I tapped Jordan and was like, yo, sing something. Just sing something over where he's playing. And he started to harmonize over it. And he looked at me and was like, yo, send him to the studio now. You know what I'm saying? And that day, Jordan didn't have no money at this time. This is in a respectful way. And when he went to the studio to do it, I didn't go with him because I was doing something else with 50 at the time. So I stayed at the office and I'm like, yo, 5, listen, he don't have anything. And he's like, what do you mean he don't have anything? I'm like, the kid doesn't have any money at this time. He don't have nothing in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? And when he came back, he played it for him and he went crazy over it and he gave him some money, right? And the relationship was great and they ended up doing 2 records. There was that record, Definition of Sexy, and it was a record called Winning Circle. And I A&R'd another record on 50 album, which is called Major Distribution, with him, Snoop. Yeah. I actually...
You A&R that shit?
I A&R'd that record.
We play that shit all the time on Go ahead, bro. This is crazy.
Yeah, so after that, he was like, yo, I really want to be with Meek. I really want to be with Meek. Not taking nothing away from 5. I just think he just was like... Yeah, I want to rock with Meek. He wanted to work with him. So I said, yo, you really? I said, all right. And I called Meek, and I was about to go to jail. I literally was probably like 90 days shy of going to go start my sentence. And I called Meek, and I said, yo, listen, this kid's crazy, and he wanna rock with you, but I'm about to go away. And it happened. The deal went down.
Yeah.
But I was going, and he's like, yo, I'm like, I don't want nothing. I'm going. Just stay up while I'm going.
Copy.
And that's how you got... Keep You in Mind and all these different records he got out now.
That's fire, man. And even then, that's you, the executive.
Yeah, being the executive. Because I always was the type of person, I never was selfish. I've been on my own since I was 15. So I was like, yo, if somebody helped me one day, hopefully I'll be in a position where I can help other people.
Well, I know Jordan, he better pick up that phone when there's an R&B hook.
He be acting crazy now.
When there's an R&B hook needed.
Yeah, we got some joints. So, he was kind of like working with Jerry. And so we kind of like helped each other in that moment. And me and Jerry just kind of like bonded. And I think me and Jerry had did like 2 records right before I went in. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm going in. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going in. He's like, well, when you come back, I'm here. So I came back and literally I think probably the first week that I was able to travel to New York, he was like, I got to see you. You know what I'm saying? And they had like a surprise party for me and we like worked right there. But then, COVID came and, all that stuff. And I kind of like went on tour with 50. I was going with him for probably like 3 months. Like we were just on a jet every day. And the conversations me and him was having is just like kind of like changed my life. Like, you're like, yo, like this is where you need to be. Like this is what you need to be doing. Like that other shit, like, nah, like this is where you need to be.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I still was kind of in between as far as music. So I kind of took the position of, let me hold my man down. Not saying he needed me to do that, but it was like, he's done so much, I'm gonna hold my man down. So if anybody act crazy, I'm holding my man down. And it went from that, but it just blossomed into everything else.
That's fire, man. And I just, sometimes I wonder about when people say that, yo, when you come out, I'll be here. You can't always bank on that because people change, but it's good to see that he made good on that.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously we got a song out. There's, There's a agreement, you know what I'm saying, partnership that's going on right now with the music.
Yeah,
man.
and then me and Birdman, we like really tight. We talk all the time. We got some stuff going on. So.
Hold on, we got to rub our hands in the microphone. You know
you know, the bird a little different. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you know, the blessings is coming. Like I said, you know, I'm a grinder. I ain't gonna sit back and just expect for everybody to just walk.
I'm glad you say that part, man. I think it's not even. I know I see it all the time, and I'm sure you have too. People get signed and they think everything is handed out on a platter to them. You got to work, and even when you up, you got to hustle that much harder to keep that shit going, man. The momentum going.
And I use my own money. I use my own money. My partner, we use our own money. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not begging. I'm not saying act like I'm super rich or nothing like that. But I know it takes money. You got to have skin in the game. Yeah. To make it work. You know,
it'll make you get up off your ass when you put all that bread up.
The record ain't gonna move itself.
Not at all, man.
You know?
But it's moving up here on Shade 45. And you know what I want to play? I want to play Major Distribution, bro. I had no idea that you A&R that shit.
Yeah, I A&R that record.
I play that shit like every night on my show, guys.
That's crazy.
You knew that, Smith? You didn't know that. Stop playing. All right, we gonna go ahead and get to the music, man. It's Major Distribution by A&R by Mike Knox. Gray Rizzy, we out here, Shade 45. Grind Setters. Oh, it's crazy. Mike over here sharing stories and shit. Mike Knox in the building. Gray Rizzy, we out here, Shade 45. He's sharing stories, and I'm like, yo, please, Ty, just hit record. There's all kind of shit that you're saying. You took 5th to 50?
You took Beanie Siegel to 50 Cent.
Before he signed?
No.
Or for this particular record?
He was signed this. I think this is when Beans and Jay were like having a little...
They were at odds.
Big brother, little brother odd thing.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it. Me and Beans wasn't in the best space at that time.
All right.
And I'll never forget it. We was in Philly, and Five asked me to call him. And I could have been a sucker.
Yeah. I don't got his number.
And like, nah.
Just brushed it off.
But I'm from Philly, where it's hard for artists to get out and get their thing going. Who am I to stop another man's blessing?
And there's a code. See, you live by a code.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I live by a code. It's different. I'm like, called him. I'm like, yo, he wants you to come through. And he like, what? I'm like, yeah, come. You know what I'm saying? And we went, we kicked it. And then the next day, he was like, yo, bring him to the office. So I said, yo, come to the office, but bring some music. Bring something that is not finished. Because I know him. If it's right, it's going to happen.
Again, you got your executive hat on. Your A&R hat on. All right.
And we went up, and he played the Go Off record, and the Go Off record only had the verses on it. Beans is really particular about how he do his records. And Fifth did the hook to it, and it was out of here.
That's crazy, bro.
And then after that moment, I became his manager for a little bit. I was like Beans' manager for probably about a year.
Right.
We made some bucks, and then, you know.
Are you looking, what's the situation with 1722? Is it like you are the artist?
Yeah, I'm the artist and part owner.
Part owner. Are you looking for new acts? Are you looking
I am.
Talent?
I think what's hard for me is 1722 is where I grew up at. It's the address of my grandmother's house in North Philly.
House? Okay.
Yeah, and I think for me, the hard part is I work so hard, so an artist has to really, really show me they hustle, they grind, that they really, really want it and love it in order for me to really like be like, yo, I'm gonna fuck with him. Because I know I'm gonna go super hard for them. But I don't need nobody that's like, they want to do 2 records a week. Like, that's crazy to me. I do 5 records every session with no pen and pad within an hour.
How do you do that? We were talking about that a little bit real quick, like just going into your sessions, going into the booth, no pen and pad. A lot of people do this shit because, you know, it's fucking, it's almost like it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like lore. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, Jay-Z does that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I want to do that, but it sounds like you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, now my story is a little different.
How did you do that?
Well, before I did Fed time, years ago, I did state time. I was kind of like in and out of jail a lot. And I went to the hole. When I was in the hole, I was like doing my rap shit then, and I wanted to write this rap down, and I'm calling for the guard to give me a pen because they only give you like the plastic pens, and they give them to you at a certain time in order to write letters. And I'm like, yo, and he wouldn't come, and he finally came. He's like, what you want? I'm like, yo, let me get a pen. I'm trying to write this rap down. Let me get a pen. And he looked at me and was like, memorize it. And I said, all right, fuck you. That's what I'm going to do. And I sat there and I kept remembering every line and every line over and over and over again. And then it just became the norm for me. So it's like it kind of helped me.
So you, in a sense, you train for that.
I'm trained. I'm conditioned from that, and I'm also conditioned from back in the day. Studio time was high back in the day. We talking back in the day, $75 an hour was high.
Yeah.
Up to $100 an hour, that was high. So when we would go in the studio, we would have to write, we would have to have our songs written down, but you always had that third record that you don't complete because you don't deliver it right. So I would rush everything to get to the third record. So I always do at least 3 records every session.
I hope this shit ain't going over people's heads.
Yeah,
man.
I'm conditioned to do that because,
for it.
like, no matter how much money I may have in my pocket or the sessions, I'm just conditioned to do 3 records every time.
One thing that everybody's talking about, and I definitely wanted to get your take on this. First of all, everybody out here trying to be like Ayanla, Van Zandt. What is it like? Iyanla? That's her name. Iyanla, Fix My Life, right? Yes. Or Dr. Phil in the situation with Will Smith and Chris Rock. First of all, it's two millionaires up there. One smacked another. That's their problem. That's how I look at it. Was Will right? I don't know. Was, Chris Rock wrong? I don't know. They got to deal with that.
Yeah.
How would you have handled that if you were Chris Rock, though? Because to me, out of the entire shit, Chris Rock, even though he the one who got slapped, he was the one who held it together as not just for them two, for the entire black population, in my opinion. Because, they always go look at us and be like, yo, we can't take them nowhere, and then look how he acts up. All this kind of negative connotations, bro. I felt like Chris was like, he held it. I don't know if he thought about it in real time or he just, the thought got smacked out of him. I have no idea. But I know a lot of people would not have handled it a certain way. How would you have handled that?
Before I answer that question, I feel
and you from Philly. Let's be real. You got to keep it G with me, Mike. You got to keep it G.
I'm all the way a zillion with you. I feel like it's more so like, I feel like that situation to me is like the situation about how people jump out there and call this person a rat or this person this or this person told or this person, but you've never been in that situation to even speak upon that person. I feel like everybody's speaking about Will and Chris and what they would have did and what Chris should have did and what Will shouldn't have did, but you're not them.
Not them, yeah.
So you can feel what you would have done, but you're not them. You got some that feel like, oh man, he could have smacked them later. You got some that feel like Chris should have swung or something. At the end of the day, Chris is Chris and Will is Will. Like, we got to look at the thing. Yeah, he's from Philly, but for how long has this man been taking so much criticism from so many different people?
100%.
Right? And have not had a public response ever. That doesn't justify him doing it that way.
Right.
But if you are elite as he is and as Chris is, you should know that at some point in time, enough is enough. And right now is not the time to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Now, he probably could have checked him later, but the emotion that he had at that point and seeing his wife, maybe it hit him differently. Yeah. And it was just an explosion that just couldn't be controlled. Because everybody's going to say, well, he made us look this way. He made us look bad. He made us look... Listen, at the end of the day, they always make us look bad. Because no matter what he did that day, that doesn't take away that man's work that he's been doing his entire career. So why would y'all try to take his Oscar for that?
There was I forgot who I was talking to about this, Mike, but it was the conversation of they were talking about how they may take his Oscar away. Someone had said Will he put us black people back 150 years. I'm like, come on, fam, like stop, knock it off. But then I also thought about it. I was like, yo, how are you out here giving these tips and advice on fixing lives and shit. Nigga, I know you, man. This shit in your crib that ain't fixed yet, and you've been ignoring that shit for like about a good 5-10 years, bro. Yeah. So it's like, look, man, for everybody that's out there, we gotta give some grace.
You know what's crazy? You say that. It's the same way as like, okay, majority of people wake up in the morning and the first thing they do is go on Instagram before they even brush their teeth and wash their face, right? You have the actual woman. She'll go and she'll see a post and it may say, man, it'll be a picture of a man and it'll be a picture of a woman and the man will be holding the child. And it says, the man has sat back to support his family and let his lady, girlfriend or wife be the forefront to do what she has to do. And he gave her $100,000 to start a company. Okay. Right? Now, when they see that, that makes the woman say, why my man won't do that for me? But what she doesn't realize is 3 months later to 6 months later, that same couple, it comes up, man was arrested for PPP loans. He didn't have the money to give her. But the fact that you felt like he had the money, now you feel like your man should do that.
You wrote the story. You wrote the story before you even knew what it really was, man. It goes on too much, man. But what I want people to get to is this fucking music you got.
You gotta know it, man.
All right? Know summertime right around the corner. We gonna be in these clubs. I guess we popping Branson, huh? That's why you was on all them jets.
I gotta pop the Branson and the shimmy doo-wah, man.
We gotta go ahead and do that.
I get caught with anything else.
Oh my God, I don't even want to think about it, man. Fifth, what's up, baby? Look, we gonna go ahead and get to some more music. I just want to say thank you for stopping through.
For sure. We gotta send y'all some Branson too.
Send the Branson, but also send the music, bro.
Yeah, all the time.
Send the music, man. The EP is on the way. We got the song Run the City is out there right now. The video is out there as
well.
The
EP drops on, what's the EP date?
May 13th. So we're roughly about a little over a month out. Stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, all the DJs that are out there, run this song up. All the people that are out there, stream this song. Yeah. And get familiar with Mike Knox, man. Let them know how they can stay in touch with you.
Oh, man, you can check me out on my Instagram, Mike Knox Official. You can go check out my own website, MikeKnoxMusic.com, where you get all your updates and videos and everything we got going on. Of course, Twitter, Facebook, nobody really,
Yeah.
But
I check in with Auntie on Facebook, but no disrespect.
All the down south people.
Word.
So you can definitely catch me on those sites.
Copy, man. And look, if you missed any part of this interview, you can catch it with the SiriusXM app, the SXM app for your iPhone, Android, home connected device. Search his name, Mike Knox. My name, Gray Rizzy, Shade 45. Listen to it on your time. Sure. Look, I salute you, man. Keep on listening. It's Shade 45. It's Gray Rizzy. We out here. Whoa. Smitty!